Ready to be seen here, there, and every freaking where. Welcome to the AI and Chill podcast with your host, CoachDeb.
Okay, you caught me. This is going to be a fun show today. You caught me playing around with the monitor over there because I wanted to see what the delay was, and it's about 10 seconds. It's actually longer than I thought, but the YouTube is streaming. Let me know in the comments. It looks like Eva is here. Aloha, Eva forever. Today, aloha, I'm your host, Coach Deb, and today's going to be an exciting show. If you were here with me last week, you saw some fails. Expect to see some fails today as well on the AI and Chill podcast. I was thinking about it. So a couple things happen, and I'm going to show you the meta version. So we will talk about our theme for today's live podcast is showing you how to use the AI apps that essentially replace my video production company. So you have the power in your hand to blast out videos all over and get social reels done and your podcast, just like I'm doing right now, without a producer. So without a cameraman, without a producer. So I'm going to do some meta today. I'm going to take my camera. We're using different equipment than last week. And if you notice, so this is a challenge. So I'm using the OpusBot. So let's go into the meta of how we're filming today's podcast, because it's a little different than last week. And last week we had some glitches, right? Our handy dandy microphone started glitching, and I talk a lot with my hands. Again, this is the aftermath of or the trials and tribulations of being an Italian and talking with my hands. By the way, I'm going to Italy at the end of the month, and I'm so excited. So again, jazz hands may be difficult when you're using the OpusBot. So I'm using the OpusBot Tiny 2. That's the first thing to film. And then instead of using this, because I keep touching it and showing you equipment, right, the Shure MV7, this time I'm using this cordless mic. So a couple things. So when I use my hands with the OpusBot Tiny 2, the challenge is that when I go like this, it's a program to trigger the OpusBot to follow me. So yeah, no cameraman, no camera lady, and yet it's following me over to the bar. Let's mix some drinks. What do you want? All right, you want some Don Julio, some Casa Amiga? What do you want? We're going to pour some drinks today. So, okay. Now, by the way, it's kind of reality show filming, right? Because it's a little bit of an angle. So there are pros and cons of using an OpusBot Tiny 2. The biggest pro is that you don't need anyone behind your camera. So you could film anytime, anywhere, as long as you have a little, connection to your laptop. So that's really cool. Now, the cons of it is that when you're an Italian or Latina or whatever, and you do use your hands a lot, it will program your OpusBot Tiny 2. So I have to sometimes put my hands down. The other thing too is sometimes, as a professional video producer, I produce many, many shows throughout, it's been at least 15 years, if not longer. Let's just say a decade, keep my age younger. But the cons of that is if you are a pro, you don't have control over the camera angle. So when we were in my studio, so right now we're at the new bar, well, not so new. I had to pause, but more on that later. But I can, with the studio, I can put my professional camera over here, right, and film it, and it stays static. And then I can switch it with my A10 Mini, which I'll show you in a minute. So, let me see. Hi, Eva. I love it. Hello, Eva. We're going to make sure we show those of you who are joining us live as well. If you have comments, put them in. Again, we'll talk about StreamYard as well, another one of my favorite apps, so that you can produce your own podcast without a professional producer, aka me. So again, I digress. Pardon the ADHD, but we can have a pro camera here, a pro camera here, a pro camera here, right? So we technically always want a 3-camera shot, and then we can change that with the A10 Mini. See, I had put the 5-finger signal up so it stays static now. So this is what's nice here is it stays static. So if I want to stay in the law of thirds here and then have my text on screen. If I wanted to edit this video, I would have total control. The other thing too is like the framing, right? You don't see the framing of the curtains above or the ceiling above. Whereas when I do signal my OpusBot Tiny 2, look at that turning on, you see how all of a sudden, like it gives you a little bit of the, here, I'm gonna go over here so you can kind of see it, right? So you can see a little bit of the ceiling, a little bit of the shades, right? So you may not love that, so be careful. Now, again, if I say standard, kind of focuses me. So it's focused on your face. So that's what it's focusing on. However, you can train it to focus on full body. So say you're doing some tutorial videos, or shout out to Ellen doing a lot of woodworking, right? So she's woodworking in her shops and she wants to show her hands doing something, whittling wood. She can do that by programming it to be more of a body shot, so you can see your hands and all the way down to your waist, right? Right now I have it programmed on my facial tracking. So there are a few things that you can program your OpusBot Tiny 2 to dial in. Now, one thing to note, I am using 0 professional lights. In other words, it's just the lights in my house. So I have like this one overhead light. It's up in the roof. It's pink. So let's see if there's any pink shadowing. But if you notice, I'm coming, like my face is more or less bright, right? Like it doesn't look like there's any shadowing. So a couple things I did to get that, and that's in StreamYard, the app I'm using to stream live to multiple places, right? We're talking about cloning yourself. So you're here, there, and every freaking where. This is how we're doing it. So StreamYard's filming and broadcasting or podcasting to multiple platforms, multiple social media platforms at the same time. But in here, I can put in the visual effects, which is a touch up your appearance feature. We mentioned that a bit last night. It's a new feature to StreamYard. Thank you, StreamYard, for listening to our tribe. I'll put a link in so that you can be part of our tribe and join. So that way, when you have feature requests, I can submit them as well, and our tribe can. And there is strength in numbers. But is just like the Zoom touch up your appearance feature. So here's the other thing is I can also in StreamYard change multiple cameras, multiple mics, whatever I want to use. Again, see, this is why we're not using this Shure mic, because I keep touching it and then it shuts off like it did last week. So here's what's cool. I'm going to take this mic off. So you can see that I am indeed using it. If you notice, by the way, there's a big trend with the social media influencers. They're like talking to their mic now, right? So, and the way you know if it's tracking is the OpusBot has a little blue light. When it's green, might be on choppy on your end, Eva. Check audio. Oh, okay. See, there's always a producer tuning in. Okay, so that might be just because I'm not wired. So that is another thing. Okay, so here you want to program it to follow you. It's red. And Eva, you can, maybe I should bring you in, Eva, and then you can tell me if I appear off camera. So I'm just going to move over here just so you get a little bit of a tour and you see a little bit about how the Tiny 2 works. So we've got our fancy schmancy Elgato big extra large teleprompter. I love it. Okay, I'm going to walk over here. See how the audio now, it may be choppy, but other than that, do you see how my mic is still working? So if I was using the static professional Shure mics, well, I point with the drama. Okay, so much better now, Eva said. Thank you. So that's interesting. So apparently there was a little bit of an audio issue, and I think that's the one thing we don't have right now. And I'm going to go like this to kind of tune out. Let's see if we go right. See, watch. By the way, we did that. It's kind of a white balance feature as well as triggering the OpusBot. But you see how we came in a little bit better. When I first came over here from being over there, it's adjusting for light on its own. What? So I'm going to put this back on me. This has a little magnet, really super easy lapel. So you just put it right on your shirt and put the magnet behind here. That way I don't have to worry about weird audio. Now, see, it's not quite as crisp as before it sounded a little bit like the Pro Shure mic, but it's getting the audio. Yay. And if you do go from this week, we will make sure you're on that list. But this week we're launching the blog finally, officially. We've got 3 articles going over all of the things I'm talking about in this live podcast and getting you playbooks so that you can have it. So this ObsBot will be there. The picture of that will be in the playbooks and the blog. So it'll be CoachDebsblog.com. I don't know that it's quite live yet, but by the time you are watching this, because by the way, not a lot of people watch live, they watch the recording, the post show, it will be there. So it'll be a Substack blog. We also have another blog for AEO purposes. I'm sharing some SEO and AEO strategy hacks peppered in through some of the equipment that we're doing for the podcast. So again, this ObsBot Tiny 2, it's around a 150. Now, some of them have different features, podcasts, and have it looking professionally produced, right? So like this is a sliding, it's an interesting sliding glass window. So it kind of looks like I'm in my backyard, right? But this is, I don't know if you can hear that. Here, we'll go tap, 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 tap. It's a window here, right? So, but what's nice about it is, again, this is what blows me away. Normally, we have to have so many professional lights in order to wash out or not wash out me from this bright, bright background. Now, if we turned around, it would be a way better picture. Anytime friends come over and we have like the speakeasy, we go out there and we face the light. Like this is the best place to be to film. And we may use that angle at some point as well. So that's kind of the gist of the new equipment. The only thing we're not doing right now, which we will in future podcasts, is wiring in. Cat 5, right? Let's see. Oh, look at that. It was following me. It's like, oh, can you see the bar? I don't know. Now, okay, so we're going to wire it. We're not now, and that's probably why Eva was saying there was a little bit of audio issues, because right now we're just using Wi-Fi. And again, partly I'm trying to do some of these things so that we can test it out and show you, what is the quality difference between wiring in and wireless. But I have a lot of travel blogger followers and friends, and they can't be wiring up in Europe. It's often not even available, or they're vlogging or podcasting from their hotel room. So being wired in is not always an option. And for purists, from a video production point of view, we always say wire, be wired in, get your wire for your cameras and all of that, wire for your microphone to the Rodecaster Mini, right? That's the professionally taught way. But you're a travel blogger, you're a mommy blogger, you're an artist, you're a, out and about blogger or podcaster, right? So what's cool is this is wireless. And yes, again, Eva was reporting in that, there were a little bit of audio issues, probably more because of Wi-Fi. But at the end of the day, here's what we found. Look at last week. There was the fill. Oh, this is good. We've got Eva giving us report in. Let me show that comment in a second. But we had all of these people here live last week, and they stayed with me the entire time. Yes, I did that to have it follow me again. But they stayed with us the whole time. My audio literally went out. Hey, shout out, by the way, comment in, do we delete that fail, that live? It was about 40 minutes. And there was 5 minutes, a little bit of like some glitches with the audio that I touched the mic and then the wires got janky. But do I delete it because there was a human error, a mistake in it? Or do I leave it and let the fail be there so that you can be encouraged that fails don't stop you from going forward, from podcasting, right? It just shows you're human. And by the way, it kind of showed that it wasn't my AI digital twin. It's me live. Anytime I mess up or say or go off on tangents, it's not my AI. And that's going to be one of those things that I encourage you to do. So I'm going to read Eva's and I'm going to comment and I'm going to show it on screen as well. I love that about StreamYard. It allows us to put our lower thirds with just a click of a button. So all the comments come in. It looks like she's on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in on YouTube, by the way. It's the best way. If you want to find me on YouTube, it's at CoachDeb, for the channel. But yeah, StreamYard allows us to put any comment up on screen, just like a live video production company would do from a TV production. So she says the audio is better now. The video did go in and out. Okay, thanks for letting me know. I went and reviewed my iPhone YouTube and then on my browser on the Mac, and now it's way better than the beginning. Okay, so that's another thing too, is maybe it could have been like an iPhone issue. So that's what we also find. Sometimes it's the user or the viewer experience, right? Yep, awesome. Come back, totally agree. Thanks, Eva. I love when Eva's here. So by the way, Eva, when you weren't here last week, but we had Ken Krell from Ignite and my Driven Mastermind, he was there. And one of the things that I mentioned, and Eva has heard me say this before in our AI Chillify Club, she's been a member for several years. And it's interesting because it doesn't matter. Every single time, there's always someone in your audience that will help you. So there's a producer like Eva. There's a producer like Ken. And when I say producer, I mean people who are familiar with this are going to give you feedback and give you that insight of like, hey, by the way, your audio is out. We can't hear you. Or, hey, by the way, something happened with the video. So there's always someone there to help. And that's the beautiful part about this community, right? We're all here to help one another. So they say you're not to say without further ado, but I mean, that's how you know we're going to segue into the next topic. So hopefully this first segment of the show to give you a little meta of how we're broadcasting, and we'll keep doing that to show you some of the different ways we're filming. And at the end, if you want, I'll take the OBS-bot off and give you a little tour of the desk so you can see the wires and see the connection. The other thing is if you want to know how to set up pro equipment like the A10 Mini and the Rodecaster Pro, which is sitting behind me, and the Shure mics and things like that, let me know in the comments and I'll do a show focused on that specifically. So I do want to show you what I promised is the OpusClip. Well, I promised I was going to show you an app, and it is OpusClip. We will get you my affiliate link so that you can get a hookup deal. I'll put it in the description of YouTube when you're watching. You just scroll down, and it will also be in the Substack article. We'll also have a playbook. There'll be a link there. It'll be open. You don't have to subscribe to anything, and it'll be in the YouTube description. So that way it gives you all of the things that we're talking about so that you can apply the things that I'm teaching you on your own. Okay, so we're going to share screen, but first let me share this in the comments just so it's here. Here, anyone with the link, copy. Here we go. It will be a very long one, so it won't be really one of those clickable links. There we go. So, I'm going to show this, but it's very, very long. It's just a share Google Doc. It's not something you're going to type in, but that Google Doc that I'm about to share with you will be in the YouTube description and mainly the Substack article. So be sure to go to CoachDebsblog.com by the time you're watching this on the post-production. It will be live. The Substack article will be going, and there will be 3 articles a week, and it will all be focusing on AI apps. See, that's how you know I'm human. AI apps that you can use to do social video, as well as AEO. AEO strategies. Now, what is AEO? Well, we're going to talk about that in future podcast episodes, but it's essentially replacing SEO. So SEO, a lot of people were familiar with search engine optimization. AEO is answer engine optimization. In other words, you being the answer for the LLMs, for ChatGPT, Gemini, Claudette, as I like to say, right? Whatever LLM that you use, you want to be found. And the article, I believe today that got published, is talking about how when people are typing in the question of, like, say they're looking for your type of business and you're not found, it's because you're not focusing on AEO. So much of what we will be talking about in this podcast and in the private AI Chillify Club. Let me know if you want to join. We do have some spots for founding members. That'll be launching within the month. Let us know, but that's what you want to focus on, and that's what I'm going to focus on this year. Okay, so I'm going to move this so that it's a little more stationary and it doesn't make me dizzy as it's following me, because we're going to show, let's see, we're going to show this, share screen. Here we go. We're going to show the G-Doc with the show notes. Okay, so let's see. Oh, you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to show you Opus Clips. Here we go. So let's see. It will first show the show, how meta, and then we're just going to click on the tab. So here we go. All right. So this is the show we're watching. We don't want that. We want OpusClip. And once again, we will get you that link. Let me make sure that is here in the comments as well. Okay, here we go. Okay, boom, 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 copy, paste. Now, why do you want to hire a pro video editor? Well, because they can do all this while you focus on your content. So that is the long opus.pro/via da-da-da-da-da, right? It's the affiliate link, but we will have that in the YouTube description so that way you don't have to follow that and write. Okay, so let's go over here. Got Opus. Why didn't it show that? Let me say, remove this. Okay, we're going to go back to this here. We're going to minimize that. Now we'll show you Opus. And let's see. Gotta love it. Okay. Oh, okay. I wanted to make sure I could go back and forth because we're going to do it live to show you how to create all of your clips from your long form podcast, like something like this, in an instant without you doing any of the heavy lifting or having to hire a $1,000 clip editor every month. Okay, so let's remove this. Here we go. We're going to add. Here we go. Share screen one more time. Share screen and OpusClip. Okay. And it's OpusClip, by the way, not OpusClip. So this is what it will look like when you're logged in, and see where it says get clips in one click. So up here, you could drop a YouTube video link, a Twitch link, a Zoom link, a Descript link. So anything that's broadcast already, you can drop a link and boom, within 24 hours, if not 15 minutes, maybe what I like to say is minute for minute. So if it's an hour long, just put it up there, go away, have lunch, come back in an hour, and you're good to go. If it's 15 minutes, 15 minutes. But I like to let my computer agents do things on my own or on their own while I go get other stuff done. So all you do is you get a link from, say, YouTube. All right. So let me just move this over here. Let's see if I can switch tabs for you. I can't. So I'm just going to go over to my YouTube link, or sorry, channel. And we're going to get, let's see, let's see which, I'm trying to think which one I want to put up here. Let's see, Conversations at the Bar, maybe. I want a short one. It won't be this one because we're still live. Okay, here we go. This is one with Chris Gray. I like this. All right, I'm going to this for a second and just grab the share link. Okay, so we're going to copy that link. We're going to go over here and see where it says wherever the link is. I'm just going to say Command V on my computer, which should paste it. It looks like it is spinning. It's funny, I keep going over to this mic and that might just help focus, center me. I'm going to go like this so it can follow me. Otherwise, I forgot because I can move around because I've got the cordless Rode mic now. All right, get clips in one click. Did you see that? All of a sudden, it popped up with me and Chris Gray. Cool YouTube thumbnail. Thank you, ChatGPT and Claude, for that prompt and that production. Again, once again, don't need anyone to create those for me any longer as well. AI is taking over, isn't it? All right, so we have this here. I'm going to scroll down here, and there's a few things that you can do here. What I like to make sure, if you want it really in the clip feed, in the reel feed, or the shorts feed on YouTube, make sure it is under 59 seconds. See where it says clip length? It's under 59 seconds, okay? Auto headline is toggled. Clip model is clip anything, but if you do the drop down, it can be, okay, auto for letting AI choose the optimal model, clip plastic for clipping talking videos, and then clip anything. Let's just try clip basic. I haven't used that in a while, just to kind of try something else out. Now see under here, it says processing time frame. It's basically processing, and here's this 13 minutes. So it may not be done right away, but all you do is you click on that, and here's your templates. Make sure your templates are all dialed in. If you notice, it says the preset template. It's this orange and green. There's this one, it's green and yellow. There's this one with a little pink in it with Montserrat font. Okay, So I'm going to leave this one here. Cool. It looks good enough. And that's literally it. You just click on that, get clips in one click. Now, one thing to note that we're doing this live broadcasting. We're on StreamYard. We're on Opus. It's pulling a lot of Wi-Fi, or as they say in Europe, Wi-Fi bandwidth. So I don't know. We'll see if Eva will tell me if I'm coming in and out again, but hopefully it isn't. But it just get clips in one click. We're going to come back later to the home and we'll see clips right there. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen here just to talk to you for a minute. And then I will also share a video that we did, a major tutorial. So I just wanted to give a brief overview here in this podcast, but then I did a full-on 40-minute tutorial that I'll also put in the link in the description in the Substack article, so you could really dive in and see how we did it. I did a presentation too in Colorado. I may be able to upload that within the next week or two as well. Just want to make sure I'm okay publishing that. But that will also give you some of the cool things we did. And we did it live right there with everyone in there. But you saw it. I just got a link. I put it into the little spot that says drop a link. So it's not even having the file on your computer and dragging it over. It's literally a link that's published online. So what's great about that is a lot of people that have come to me are like, well, I don't have a podcast of my own, but I've been a guest on a lot of other people's podcasts. Yes, grab their link that's published on YouTube that, again, so just grab the YouTube link, just like we did with my YouTube link, and then put it into your Opus channel, your software. And then all of the interview that you did, that again, you were the guest on somebody else's show, it starts clipping it. Now, another thing too is we did a very basic thing. We're going to see what it clips. But the cool thing is, sharing this tab, stop sharing. Okay. The cool thing is that you can really go and dial it in. Say you're like me, where there's 5 different topics in any given show, but I really want to focus on, say, AEO that I focused on, in any given show. The cool thing is you can put in their keywords and say AEO. So anytime I talked about AEO, that's what I want to clip about. So it can be very, very focused and dialed in, or very general, and you just let it riff, right? And let it just kind of find clips. I'm going to move this down over here, focus in. Now we're on the don't follow me, right? So see, I can go off camera, creepy, stalky spot. It's been activated. So good, yay. Eva said all good now. So thank you, Eva, by the way. Love producer Eva. Show up every time to the podcast. Missing Ken, where's Ken? We'll have to introduce you two. You guys will love each other. Oh, let me move over here. Okay, so I'm going to go back over here because I want to show you, there's 2 others, because this one's it's still 30%, but I do want to show you at least a sample of what it can produce. So let's go and share. See, not AI. Show your mistakes. Okay, share screen. Let's share Opus again, but this time, it says 45% on clipping. So it may take a while and we don't want you to wait, right? So here are some of the ones that we've uploaded recently. Now, this one is the song. So we're not going to do that because that's kind of weird. It's a 3-minute song. You don't need I did it. I mean, maybe I'll show you. It's like just kind of a clip of the song. And it was kind of interesting because it's basically going on words. And it wasn't bad, but clipping a song is awkward. Yes, if you're a singer-songwriter, you might want to share a clip of that. But I don't know that it's perfect for that just yet. Okay, so we're going to go this one. This is the one that we published last week or 2 weeks ago. And we're going to click on this, AI Conversations at the Bar. And yes, this is also created by AI. I believe ChatGPT created that thumbnail. We gave it a headset. I did not pose for that. And it is there. Okay, so now I'm going to go Command zoom out just so you can see, 4 at a time, maybe 5 at a time. Let's see. There we go. 5 at a time. Look at this. Look, there's Ken Crawl. And by the way, see how it's populating as he was producing. This is our live podcast. So this is last Tuesday at 2. When we went live, it automatically went into my YouTube, grabbed that link, and within 24 hours, all of these shorts, aka reels, aka social videos, boom, done. Look, I'm still scrolling. It's more than 30. Let's count them. Let's do our multiplication. We've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36 reels. What? Without a human doing a thing, right? This is very exciting. So no more excuses that you can't get reels out there, that you can't do social videos. And the best way, by the way, instead of having to like script your videos and do all that, just do a long form podcast like this. Let Opus do all the clipping. And the beautiful thing is, and it's going to even give you a score, it's designed to clip for viral hooks and to go viral. So one thing to note is it will sometimes start, most of the time, mid-sentence, because the point is at the end, it's designed to then loop so you don't realize you're watching the video twice. And that's one of the biggest secret hacks to getting your reels go viral, is getting people to watch to completion and then watch it again, right? Not only is it counted as 2 views, it's almost like 10 or 20 views, because that training of the algorithm that says, oh, your video is not just good enough to watch all the way to completion, but to watch again, it means it's good content. So that's the beauty of this. And that's why it will start like seemingly interesting. It's not starting with a main point, like first I want to talk about A, then I want to talk about B. Like that's English training. Get rid of that type of thinking for your social reels. It's meant to be quick. It's meant to hook them in. It's meant to give them a teaser so that they go, oh, I'm curious about this. Let me go and watch your full, say, Tax Magic podcast, like Kathy Cregan, right? For her Tax Magic podcast. It's like, it's not meant to give a full tax, thorough analysis and tip. That's for her 7-minute videos or her 15-minute videos or her 30-minute videos, right? Some things are more complex. Some of the things I teach are more complex. So it's designed to tease them, give them a taste, like an appetizer, so that you go and consume your long form content. And by the way, that's the best way you get clients, is them consuming your long form content, them getting that trust and authority and say, oh, wow, okay, this person really knows a lot about taxes. I'm going to hire them, or I'm going to join her community, her collective, Tax Magic Collective, right? That is the point. So here you see, now I'm going to scroll or zoom in a bit, there we go. So you see how there's this score. It says 99, 98. Let's test my vision here. Yep, 97. It's a bigger screen over here. 96, 95, 94, 92, 90. So anything in the 90s, here's a little secret. I have my team just boom, publish it. I don't even have them go through it, edit it. If it's on a podcast, including my mistakes, including my errors. Now, by the way, I don't think it had it without the audio, but maybe it did, but I don't think so, because when my audio wasn't working here, we've got Ken, he filled in for me. Yay. Eva, always be ready to fill in, right? If any glitches happen over here. So I'm going to test this because there was a glitch in the podcast, right? But I'm going to see, did it ever have it where it was this long silent pause? I don't think so. That's my prediction. Tell me if you're going to bet with me or against me, because it's designed to give you only the best of. So here's my secret to get so much more content out than any of my competitors will even be able to compete with. And that's what I want for you, is more content so that the LLMs finds you as the expert. I don't go through and edit every single one, right? That would take hours. It used to, right? The clipping editor was like a 40-hour a week project and time frame, right? So I only go down here. See that? So in the 70s, that's where maybe a review. Honestly, it's 60s. That's my limit. Again, it just depends on what your threshold is. So I let it rip. I let it all schedule. Yep, that's how crazy this girl is. I don't care if things are perfect or not. And that's the biggest thing. We had to post it in the studio that perfection is a profit killer. If you're still going and being a control freak and being anal and just oh my God, anal retentive is like psychology word. If you are being that versus being willing to not have everything perfect, you will win in the AEO race. By this time next year, I predict you are going to be found in the search engines, and your competitors who are still doing things manually, things with the human, things by hand, reviewing everything, making everything perfect, which by the way, that doesn't exist with video production unless you have $1 million budget for every Hollywood sitcom. Yeah, that's how much it costs to edit and produce sitcoms that are 30 minutes long in Hollywood. Yes, I have friends in high places. It's crazy, right? So yes, if you have this $1 million budget, sure, it could be perfect. It could be amazing, right? If you have Mr. Beast's budget, amazing. But if you're just trying to get your expertise out there, you want to connect with people just like you would face to face. Okay, so we're just going to go in one of these. We're going to go into this one here. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but let's see. Actually, I'll put the volume up here. I'll get this other mic. Let's see if it, this could be my computer mic. And let's see if you'll be able to hear this. We're going to play. Now, by the way, fair warning, I haven't looked at this at all. This is literally me doing this live. You're over my shoulder. Like got my ObsBot over the shoulder, right? So I don't know what we're going to see, but it was live and we went podcasting. So here we go. Let me get this ready. So Eva, if you're there, let me know if you can hear me. If there's a, you can't hear it at all, but let's see. We're going to push play.
I have Claude working for me 24/7. He's doing things while I sleep. I'm getting way more than 40 hours and I'm only paying $100 a month and he's working every day. He never complains. He never takes a sick day. He never literally, he's just my best employee I've ever had. And by the way,
that was
like having Einstein working for you, but he's working for you as opposed to you working for Einstein or a partnership. So it's the smartest employee you can have if you're programming it right. I've got Claude working for me 24/7.
Oh,
he's doing things while I sleep.
Did you see that?
I'm getting way more than 40 hours.
I can
And
pause
I'm
it.
only paying $100 a month and he's working every day.
So that's what we mean about you want it to be the end. And then all of a sudden it's like even the way the inflection, it's not like a full stop end. And that's the finale. Thanks for tuning in. By the way, never say goodbye on your podcast. Maybe I'll be on, see you later, arrivederci. No, don't say any of that in any language, right? You want to, and maybe a full length podcast, sure. But those small, short videos, especially short form, never say goodbye because in their mind, they go away. When you say goodbye, what does that mean? I'm leaving. Bye. Ciao, ciao. Okay, I'm leaving. Arrivederci, right? I'm gone. You don't ever want them leaving. You want them binging on your podcast, binging just like Netflix, right? So the way Opus is editing these videos, even the inflection at the end, say if I only did watch it one time, it never feels like a finale. I don't finish that. Be like, and okay, and that's the end of the point, right? Gosh, I shouldn't do that because now when Opus grabs these, it's going to hear that, right? But it's designed, it's so amazingly programmed with AI. And by the way, I've been using this for over 5 years now. It is so much better than it was 5 years ago. But with every AI app that comes out, play with it. Be willing to work through some of the trial and error, some of the glitches, because it will get better. They're pouring so much money into AI apps and AI companies and AI software and AI everything. It will get better and you'll have mastered it because all of the kinks you'll work out with everybody else who's working with it with a new app. And they're much more forgiving. Okay. Oh, and I realized, this is probably annoying anybody who has an audiophile because I'm holding that mic. We're going to put it back in its little case. Again, highly recommended, the Rode wireless mic. That's what we're using for this one. And it's flipped over. So sometimes, you got to make sure your shirt collar is not flipping over because then the audio is not going to be as awesome. So those are a little, couple things that you have to think about. But it's no different than if I was, say, using this one. Here, I got to move this. I always have to, if I'm using this microphone, I always have to make sure I'm really close to it. So it's no different than this, right? Your cordless mic. So just be sure you're mindful of that. Okay, so that is Opus. Now, one thing to keep in mind, if you do want some really professionally produced reels, say you want like commercials or ads or something like, okay, say there's like 1 or 2, let's say even 3 that you go, oh, I want these really polished. I'm going to do sponsored ads to them. I'm going to publish it. You can go over here. See this little scissor icon? It says edit clip. So you can edit in Opus. That's awesome too. So you don't have to just let it be your AI agent, as in your AI employee to produce and publish videos. See all over here? It's giving you the words. It's showing you what's coming up. By the way, it's giving you captions too. So you don't need a captions editor anymore as well. So what used to cost $100 a video, you were with me when we counted, right? It was at least 35 videos. Do the math. 35 times 100. What do you got? Go ahead. Math is the mathing. $33,000, right? $3,500 for clips. Instead, $30. And actually, if you use the link in the description, $14.50 a month. Yeah, and I have never, ever run into the limit. You see up here, there's still credits up here. Let's see here. Circle this right by the profile here. So plenty of credits. And I paid for the full in the year. And I think next month I renew it for the year. And I still haven't run out of credits, an entire year. Now, I haven't used it as much, guilty as charged, right? But here's the script here. And then down here is the video editor, just like you're used to with Adobe Premiere or Final Cut Pro, whatever. You have all, so here is the logo. So this is one line with just the logo on it, okay? The next one is your video. The next one up here would be little B-roll, right? And then that's your masthead. You just click on that and you scroll it over. I'm here. I'm looking at that for the small screen here. Oh my goodness. And here it's giving you, your editor's got an upgrade. See what's new. Okay, let's do that live. Why not? See what's new. AI video B-roll. Hello, holler. If those of you following me religiously, I've talked about captions, and then I said pay the extra for captions AI because it did this. Now, another app you can get rid of. And that, by the way, was $30 a month. The captions app on your phone. Boom, you could delete it. It's one more video app that you can get rid of. And Opus takes the place for half the price per month. And it does so many other things. So AI video B-roll. There's 3 free trials. I guess there might be some added trial now. No, I don't want to try now. I just want to get over here. Okay, so here we go. That's why it was shaded out. But see this here, right? This is some B-roll. This is the B-roll that we saw. I'm going to
24/7.
Here we go.
He's doing things while I sleep. He's doing
whoops.
way more than 40 hours.
There we go. So that was one of the little AI B-roll clips. I don't love that one. I was like, what is that? A desk? Okay, whatever, maybe. But all you do is you click on it and you hit delete, boom, gone. So if you don't like it, you can edit it and really fine tune it. And it doesn't take a lot of time, right? If you want to brand it with your logo, you just put that here. And you see up here, it's my little CoachDeb logo here. It's just a little, what they call bug in video production. And it just brands your video content. So when people want to share it somewhere else, steal it, AKA model it, fine. But it's branded to you. It has your company logo, right? Your branding. And then this one here is the video itself. This is the audio itself here. And as you can see, all these little clips, right? So that's all the cuts. And by the way, did you notice it was just like the ObsBot, tiny 2 here? It was like, I was moving over here and then I was moving over there. Very subtle. It was very subtle, but that's Opus facial tracking. That wasn't my Opus. I was static. It was a static video because I was doing it in the studio in the back. And that was just a static video camera. And Opus did it. So there's all of these elements that it's doing. And then, by the way, see up here, it says 9:16. You can change this from, say you're doing a 9:16. Say you're doing the 16:9 landscape, right? Like this is going to be a 16:9 podcast video. You can also edit long form videos and keep them in that format or convert it over to a 9:16. Okay, there's the AI Enhance. Play around with all of these little buttons. Again, I'll link to where we did a full tutorial, including how you schedule all 35 in seconds. Okay, maybe in minutes. Let's just say 2 minutes or 5 minutes if you're new. And all of these videos that you saw, all 30. No, I don't want to leave sight. All of these videos here, gonna just go out. I don't want to leave sight. Here we go. All right, I'm not going to touch that. I'm going to stop share. Here we go. Every one of those videos that you saw in Opus, right? We went 5, 10, 15, sorry. They can all be scheduled to not 1 and not 2, not 5, but say 10, at least 10. I don't know if it's even more of your social video sites in a blink of an eye, in the snap of a finger. So this is you repurposing and you being here, there, and every friggin' where, like our song talks about. without you having to have a huge production team. So I hope this was super valuable. Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you like when I have some fails and some things don't work out. Now, one thing I did promise you after Opus, I was going to take ObsBot and give you a little tour. So I'm going to take it off the facial tracking here with that little hand here. Now it's green. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to show you a little bit how we're producing this now and then some of the other equipment. And I'm going to try it, by the way, little tip here. When you're doing handheld camera, whether it's your video camera or a camera like this, make sure you go slowly. I have people that go travel in their reels and they're like, here you go, here's the balcony. I'm like, what? I'm going to Roma in a month. And I guarantee you, I'm going to be tempted to do that, but you got to go slow and steady. So stay tuned on Insta. See, again, human flaw. And again, I'll try to remember and remind myself to do that here. Okay, that's not it. That's just the bar. But by the way, that could be your other camera angle here, right? Okay, so this is the lighting here. We just have to kind of see how the pink light up ahead. There's not even, I'm not even using like any other overhead lighting. This is just natural light from the sky. Okay, so we've got our monitor. We've got our Believe Studio here. Okay, so here's our monitor with Opus and then the show notes over there. This is StreamYard, the laptop that we've been filming. Talk about meta. This will get very dizzying because it's like a mirror within a mirror within a mirror. Okay. The messy poker table with all my wires. But this is the one mic and dos mic for it to be on the Rodecaster Pro. And doesn't that look so fancy, all lit up like that? You'd think that was what we use. Nope, all for show. We only use this little tiny tube. See, right here. And we only used this microphone here. We didn't, look, it's not even plugged in. It's not even plugged in. See? Not even plugged in. Not even plugged in. Sorry, I'm moving this a little. I broke a rule. I went too fast. And oh, by the way, now it's on facial recognition again. Okay, stop that. All right, so yeah, but this is the A10 Mini Pro. Let me know if you want me to give you a little tour on the future. This is the Rodecaster Pro that is linked to the A10. So this controls all of your mics. So there's 1 and 2 here. Pro, it's tracking. Stop it. I have to, here we go. There we go. Okay. So these are the 2 cords here, but there's 4. So you can have 4 guests, just like we did with the AI conversations at the bar. And then that's the messy poker table that I'm gonna show you, and it's all washed out because that's the ocean in the background. Well, it's a lot of trees in the background, but supposedly. But yeah, that's basically it. And then that's where we watched earlier, and then that's the teleprompter that we're not quite using yet. But for a future show, let me know if you want me to show the large Elgato. Let's see, follow me back, Tiny 2. Here we go. So let me know if you want me to show you the new Elgato. It's my new toy. Yes, I'm a geek. I'm a tech geek. My toys are microphones and Elgato teleprompters and all that jazz. Okay, so we're going to have it follow us over here. Come on, Tiny 2. Here we go. And see how it's adjusting for the lighting again. So if you ever want to, if you kind of come in and out, see that? That's it. We just kind of did like a white balance and boom. It kind of fine-tuned that, okay? A little bit. It's kind of, there we go. Okay. So, that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining me live. We're going to try to be here. I say try because I am going to Italy soon, but we're going to try to be here with you every Tuesday at 2. Tell your friends. And if you want to be notified, if we do different times or different shows or some of the videos that are not live, be sure to go to aichillify.com. Subscribe to that newsletter. You'll get alerted to the new Substack. These are all free, by the way. The YouTube videos are free. The Substack is free. I think Substack has a subscription, and we may throw some things and some cool things for a subscription model. But right now, it's all free. So get it while it's hot, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to pull this off. Lost my magnet. So yes, I am going to hold it in front of my mouth just so, again, you can see the difference here. And it's like we all like the cool kids who are doing this whole little trend here. But be sure to go to aichillify.com. And then if you want to be invited in as a founding member to the AI Chillify Club, we're going to reveal a lot of
in-depth strategy. So here, giving you overview, kind of go a little bit in depth, but not as much as we do with the club, with members. You get to ask questions. You get to go on the hot seat. I get to look at your business, your strategy, your podcast, your theme, all of that, and work with you. And again, it's a nice group setting. So we tried to get it so that a group of people can get together, be accountable, give them coaching for not the high ticket of what other people have had to hire me in the past. So it's, instead of the 6-figure, you just have a much more economical monthly subscription to be a member of the AI Chillify Club. So let me know, drop me a DM. As I say, slide into my DM. I'm trying to be like the cool kids. I know I'm failing at it miserably, but isn't that fun? These would be like the equivalent of dad jokes, I think. Okay. Aloha. I'll see you next Tuesday, and I'll see you the next several Tuesdays. We're going to keep going over new apps and all of my top 5 favorite, plus some bonuses of the apps that are taking the place of my human team, and 40 plus hours each for each individual with each of these apps that we're going to reveal. And they're like sub $30 a month. So these are not expensive apps. So don't worry. So aloha. I know we're not supposed to sign off, but we're going to break that rule because that's what rules are for, to be broken. Stay tuned for the outro and be sure to hit subscribe, drop a comment so I know you were here either live or in post-production watching the replay. Ciao for now. See you next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 Eastern.
Thanks for binging on another episode of AI and Chill Podcast with your host, Coach Deb, and her inner circle of AI marketing masterminds. Remember to like this episode, share it with your business BFFs, and subscribe for the first mover advantage on the latest AI hacks with a little barbecue sauce.